Well, good afternoon. It is Monday. It's our Monday meetup. My name is Araya, and I'm here every Monday. I'm a psychic medium and energy healer and life coach, and I like to come and share things that are affecting me, probably affecting you guys, and see if we can get some resolve and move forward on our journey together. So today there's an energy of self-doubt around, and I know that a lot of my clients experience it, and they're not alone. I go through challenges with self-doubt. I might be a guide, a teacher, a mentor, whatever you want to use the term, but I think all of us have that come through in waves or cycles as we're moving through and trying to heal and move forward on our spiritual journey and access our bigger, greater self. And so where does it come from? Why do we even have self-doubt in us? And a lot of it, well, most of it comes from our childhood of somehow being oppressed or controlled in a way that every time we put an expression of ourselves out into the world, somebody clamped down on it. Somebody said our idea wasn't any good. Somebody said we were incapable. Somebody said, go back and do it over again. It's not right. So each time that we get shut down, our little self just kept getting closed in a box, kept getting shut down, and then we start to doubt ourselves. We come in thinking, well, I'm inspired. I've got this great thought as this little person coming from what I know is creator or God or source, and as I have this inspiration and I want to put it out in the world, and then somebody shuts it down, well, layer by layer by layer, as that happens throughout our entire childhood, until we can move out and be on our own. And even then, because we've got that pattern, we keep repeating it because we don't want to feel the pain of it. We don't want to just go in and say, oh, I'm really sad that nobody accepted my idea, or mom and dad continually put me in my place or told me to stop doing that, or do it over again, or it's not quite the right color, or gosh, I would have done it this way. Anything that demeans how that child brought it through in their perfect way as an expression in the first place, that creates that emotion that gets locked inside, because that child doesn't want to just necessarily cry about it. They shut it down and they start layering over it. And so in the perfect law of attraction, the universe is going to, hi Inger, the perfect law of attraction is going to continually bring an event in that's going to trigger that emotion until you feel it and can rise above it and shift it and release it. So you're going to start having events, whether at work or in school, where teachers are going to say your work isn't good enough, or your boss is going to always overlook you for the promotion, or when you're wanting to put something out in the world, you're going to doubt yourself and not be able to put it out there and just try. And we stop ourselves from actually even trying and really having a great success, or seeing how great we can be and are, when we don't even put the step forward to try. So I just was feeling that today, both between myself and my clients, what's coming up for them, and what came up for me over the weekend. So I thought, I'm just going to talk about it. I'm going to bring it up for everybody, and then I want to do a short card reading. I've got my favorite Archangel Power Tarot cards with me, and I love just pulling a couple of these to see how can we shift that self-doubt. What is key for us in this journey right now that would help us move out of that self-doubt so that we can fly? Because really, if we're going to succeed in this journey and really expand into a truth of who we are, we start to align with the ideas that are coming from our soul generation, that are really coming from deep within us. And if we're afraid to put those out in the world, we're going to be absolutely crippled trying to move about and bring things out into the world. So how do we get that self-belief back? How do we move out of the doubt? And that's one of the energies that can be moved through with an energy healer, is going back in and finding that emotional pocket, those deep recesses and places within us that are still holding that energy, and releasing it. And most often, sadly, and I say this as a parent because I know that I'm putting some of that into my own kids, wounded parents create wounded kids. And for generations, unless your parents were really advanced spiritually and really consciously aware of their choices, chances are that most of the infliction of this self-doubt is coming from those channels of childhood when your parents were saying stuff and they were just repeating what came from their parents. So it doesn't take the burden off as far as consequence on the soul, but it does help us move forward and release and know that, you know, they were doing the best they could, but I want to shift it now. I want to change it, and especially if you're a parent, like for me, I've got young kids. I want to change that dynamic within myself so that they never experience self-doubt, so that they go through the world really able to believe in what they are bringing out and bringing forth. So I'm feeling there's 2 cards actually already separating. So I'm going to go ahead and do these 2 cards and see what the angels have to say to us for moving this out. And this is both, these cards are not just for you guys on the call. I love that you're here. Please feel free if you have questions or comments on this to go ahead and post those. But for everybody watching the replay, I'm really grateful that you're doing that. And this message, these cards are also for you. So interesting, Michael is all over the place. I have the 7 and the 8 of Michael, and they were looking from very radically separate parts of the deck. I usually, I don't shuffle when I'm doing my cards. This is how far apart they were. I feel energetically where they need to split, and I just allow it to happen that way because I work with energy. I feel energy. And so starting with the 7 of Michael, this is a better course of action available. There is a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer. Review all the details. So in talking about self-doubt there, and I'm seeing on the image, it's got Michael hovering above, and there's a fork in the road. And the person with their backpack and all their stuff, they've got all their ideas, they got all their stuff, and they're walking down the path. And they're going down this one that's dimly lit through the forest, and not the one in the bright sunshine. This is the comfortable pattern. This is the one that they know, and so they're treading the path already taken. This is the one where the self-doubt is making it murky in the woods, and they're making their decision based on that self-doubt rather than coming out into the sunshine. So I love that Michael's telling us there's a better course of action available to you. So if you're in self-doubt about something, you're trying to figure out which direction to go with something, or if you have the courage to step forward, don't go through this alone. It says also working alone may not be the best answer. So if you need someone that you're working with like a coach, you're welcome to contact me. If you have friends that you can rely on that could help you trigger, like do a role play with you to go through and bring up some of those deeper emotions from childhood where maybe you have them role play and like shut you down, or you know, go through what you're doubting yourself about, what you're able to do. Are you able to, maybe it's being artistic and being able to paint, maybe it's being able to teach a class, maybe it's being able to apply for a new job. Whatever you're in doubt about, try and do a role play with a friend or someone that you trust, or get a coach that can walk you through and try and get into the emotional piece. Because if you can get into the emotional piece, you're going to get to more of the root of it and get some of it up and out so that the pattern starts to get dissolved and break down. And in that, definitely not being alone. That's why we have guides and guardians, even just working, if you're able to contact your guides and guardians in meditation, that they would be able to come in and help assist and see where in the body that energy is sitting, see where it needs to move out. And by getting into the emotion of it, by allowing the trigger, like say, for instance, in a role play with a friend, have them walk through like what you want to move through. What are you doubting about yourself? And have them respond back as if your parents would. Tell them how your parents might have done it, and see if you can't get into the original emotion of you as that 8-year-old, as that 6-year-old, as that 4-year-old that just kept continually getting shut down, and have some of that emotion rise. And when you can get the emotion up and out, that's where you're going to start really seeing shift. And then we also have the 8 of Michael come up. So isn't this interesting? And this time it's Michael hovering over this woman as she enters the garden gate. You can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. So wow, is that right on the money with self-doubt or what? You can be free. You can be free of that self-doubt. And really, when you get rid of the self-doubt and you trust in yourself inherently, you're absolutely free. That's what freedom is about. It's about being able to connect to your inner knowing and know exactly what your next step is and what you're inspired to do. Maybe it's make a movie, maybe it's write a book, maybe it's teach a class, maybe it's talk to the people next door that you're afraid to. Maybe it's apply for a new job. There's so many possibilities because every one of us is inspired in a different way because of the soul being that we are and the gift that we have to bring to this world. So you can be free, and when you're free, you're going to be living in that fully aligned with knowing what you're here to do and not being afraid to do it, and just putting it out to the world, and that's true freedom. Make a courageous choice to change your situation, and maybe that courageous choice is to either just step forward and do it. Maybe that courageous choice is getting someone to role play with you. Maybe that courageous choice is stepping out and hiring a coach, stepping out and hiring a healer. I'm not sure what it is for you, but you know in just hearing this, and Michael is here sharing, and I feel that presence. It's so beautiful that both the cards today were his, and not seeing things clearly, because right now on your own you are probably feeling a little in the mud, so getting that assistance, getting some help. And I am so grateful for you guys being here today. I had to sit out in the garden. I love it. I've got this beautiful, gosh, actually the cloud up there looks, typically I look up and I see dragons because I work with dragon energies, but I'm actually looking up there and seeing angel wings in the clouds right just above me. You guys can't see it, but it's actually stunning. And I'm so grateful that I'm outside, because my garden right now is just my little Eden, and all these beautiful flowers I wanted to share with you. And Fred wanted to come say hello. So have a wonderful afternoon. We'll see you next Monday. I love you guys, and I hope this was helpful to you to move out of that self-doubt if it's hitting you, especially this week, because I know it's been running that energy around recently. If you're wanting to hire a coach and you want to see if we're a good fit to work together, I do 20-minute discovery calls. And I can, if you message me, I can help you get connected to where you can schedule those. And, you know, maybe we're not a good fit to work together. Maybe we're a great fit. And if we are, I would love to be able to be here in service for you. I do sessions, I do programs, I do work with dragons as well. So anything that I can do to help you on your journey, that's what I'm here for. Have a great week, and we will see you next Monday, hopefully with some more gorgeous flowers. Bye-bye now.